Y'all worried about Cam Newton? Watch this. As you can see from that lovely dance clip, and yes, I have not been taking any lessons, Cam Newton is recovering just fine from the left foot sprain that he suffered last week against the New England Patriots. Today, at practice, Coach Rivera said, "I have no doubt in my mind that Cam will play week 1 against the Rams," which means that you should have no doubt in your mind either. Which means we're done talking about Cam. Next topic. Our main story this week are roster cutdowns, and the NFL is a vicious business. But by Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, the Panthers, along with all 31 other NFL teams, are gonna have to cut their rosters from 90 people all the way down to 53. But we're here specifically because there are a number of guys that we need to talk about as far as what they can prove this week in the preseason finale and how they can earn themselves a roster spot. The first guy we need to talk about, we'll start at Cam Newton's position, but not with Cam, is backup Taylor Heinicke. Unfortunately, Taylor, bubbles popped. Next guy that we need to talk about is running back Jordan Scarlett. Now, he's been in a competition with Cameron Artis-Payne and with Elijah Holyfield and Reggie Bonifant to compete to back up Christian McCaffrey. And the biggest advantage that Scarlett has is look at the guy. I mean, he's absolutely yoked. He has muscles on his muscles. Scarlett's size is his biggest advantage going forward, and if he can handle some of the short yardage plays that the Panthers want to take away from McCaffrey, he could very well earn a roster spot. He'll just need to impress again this week against Pittsburgh. So for now, we'll say that Jordan Scarlett's bubble is safe. The last offensive guy we need to talk about, and this is one of the toughest decisions that Ron Rivera and general manager Marty Hurney are gonna have to make, is at the receiver position. Now, you've got a stacked group of pass catchers for Cam Newton. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Jarius Wright, Chris Hogan, Torrey Smith. I mean, that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of bodies. So when you look at the last player in there, someone like a Terry Godwin, a 7th round pick out of Georgia, what does he have to do to make the roster? It has to be twofold. He has to not only be a receiver, but he has to be a return specialist that the team can rely on in special teams. And so far, Terry has shown flashes of that. He's just gonna continue to take those strides, and if he doesn't have any more setbacks like his muff punts against the Patriots, I think he's in the driver's seat for that final wide receiver spot. So Terry, for now, safe. Let's flip over to the defensive side of the ball, and that's at the nickel position. And this is the one starting spot the Panthers, for some reason, still have not been able to figure out. But one guy who is trying as hard as he can to earn that role is Javien Elliott. His claim to fame, if you will, is that last week against the Panthers, he recorded his first career interception, takes one from Cam Newton. Obviously, that earns him a lot of jawing during training camp earlier this year, but he made a couple more plays on the ball. Since then, his stock has sort of been slowly dropping. But that said, Javien has great ball skills, he's got great coverage skills, and he's very much in the competition with Cornelder to start at nickel. Either way, he's a valuable depth piece. His roster bubble is firmly safe. And the last guy we'll go with is one of my absolute favorite players on the roster, kicker Joey Sly. He's been nicknamed by his teammates the Swole Kicker, and as you can see, there's a very good reason. I mean, I'm not saying this guy is quite at Scarlett's level, but definitely much bigger than a Taylor Heinicke. As far as Joey Sly is concerned, his status is directly tied to the guy in front of him. Kicker Graham Gano hasn't kicked in the preseason at all, and if he has any sort of lingering injury, there's a chance that the Panthers might opt to keep 2 kickers on the roster. It's rare, but they've done it before. So for now, the way the roster is trending, there probably isn't a spot for Sly. If Gano's injury lingers, there will be. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to go ahead right now, and Joey Sly, sorry, unfortunately, won't be there. All right, time for some final remarks. Start the play clock. Now, the last 3 weeks for the Panthers in the preseason have been, how to say it lightly, garbage. They've been atrocious. Absolute stink bombs on offense. And that is somewhat to be expected in the preseason because, again, it's the preseason. Ron Rivera and everyone else in the league knows that you do not freak out about the preseason. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it doesn't matter. And never is that more true than this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In this final preseason game, it is literally where guys are going out and earning jobs to survive, to support their families, and to make a livelihood for themselves. This is their opportunity to start a career path that they've been dreaming of their whole lives. And isn't that all that we all could do? So when you're booing those guys at home this week or you're critiquing them or whatnot, just remember, there's a person behind some of those numbers. Thanks so much, guys. Those are my final remarks. We'll see you next time.